Are you excited about the brand new project that just finished at EPCOT? Well, we're talking about World Celebration Gardens that's finally up and working after an entire year of being broken. It sounds like all the lights at World Celebration are finally operational, but for how long? Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Let's go to this story from X. Crazy Park Guy says, this is not a drill. This picture is from right now in EPCOT. The center area ground lights are back. The amount of excitement I felt as I approached the World Celebration area and saw people illuminated. Look at this right here. There's some people right there. There's a guy in a Hawaiian shirt taking a picture of a lady in front of a planter, and all those lights appear to be working. Yes, this is the bare minimum, guys. I hate to say it. I don't want to be negative, but when did this premiere, Vash?
I thought it was last year around the same time, if I'm not mistaken. We actually have an article over here, Block Mickey, talking about this, and Walt Disney restores EPCOT in-ground lighting, nearly returning to full former glory. This is nearly returning to full.
Hey, Vash, when was that full glory?
like I said, I think it was about a year ago, and it only lasted for a couple of days. And then all of a sudden, we have lighting outages at various parts of this whole display piece, which, by the way, I mean, we didn't get a fountain. We didn't get really much shade in this specific area right here. So this was a defining feature, and to have it be, well, inoperable for so long was really bad show, I think we would say, back in the day.
I'm the reason I'm struggling with this right here. I want to say it might have been hours that these things worked before they stopped working altogether. And you have to think, and this was a project that took 6 years at EPCOT to get them to this point. I don't know if we would consider the lights on Spaceship Earth to be the beginning of that project. And that one went over great and looks fantastic. But almost as soon as these things went in, they started to short out. We heard rumors that I believe, by the way, that these were not built up to the spec of everything else at the Disney parks. They didn't talk to the people who clean these things because Disneyland has an established procedure, and I'm assuming EPCOT has the same established procedure as the Anaheim parks for how to clean all of the walkways at Disney World, and it includes pressure washing. So that pressure washing and the seals on these lights, because the last time I checked in the dictionary, lights tend to be electric. These just were not able to withstand the pressure of actually being maintained in the way that everything else is maintained in the park. And now we have this look. It's the wrong shade of green for Christmas, but it is green for Christmas right there. And they got those peppermint stripes here.
Well, talking 100%. About that Christmas spirit, actually, it was around this time last year, Jonas, that those lights made their glorious debut. We have an article right here from Walt Disney World News Today talking about this. This is December 5th, nighttime tour of new World Celebration Gardens, including a light-up pavement at EPCOT. Here we go. Okay, everything's good. Everything's working. You can see right there, the little lights are twinkling. But 5 days later, December 10th, 2023, we had articles that were being posted on this same website talking about how they were broken. So yes, like you said, Jonas, only a matter of hours did these things last. So forgive me if there's a little trepidation. 1 year later, almost to the day that these things are restored, that this fix will actually last the length of time that it needs to, being 10 to 20 years, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Now, Marvin, I wanted to ask you, since you have been at EPCOT more recently than any of us, have you seen have there been any like walls up or maintenance signs here? Is this something where they just did this overnight and finally got it working?
I was there about a week ago and I didn't see any walls up. It looks like they must have just done it overnight.
Well, that's good. I wonder if this is something where I really don't know how long this is going to last. It's taken them a year to get these things fully functional again. I hear rumors often about Disney having difficulty sourcing parts, many of those coming from, well, overseas. You can guess where overseas, perhaps in a place where Shanghai might not be as troubled getting some of those parts. I don't mean to get political with it, but there's a guy coming into the Oval Office who's saying that there might be tariffs, and that might actually affect the sourcing of some things that go into Disney parks, and some of the Imagineers might be a little tense about getting some of those parts. This is one that will actually affect animatronics more, depending on what is got a heavy tariff and what doesn't. I don't know that these parts are sourced from overseas, but I do know they seem to have a little bit of trouble getting these working.
Shanghai's got a whole different set of problems. Not these problems, but a whole different set of them.
Right. If you go into that park, you might not leave for a couple of days, regardless of what your ticket says.
Also, I've heard that they're having major attendance issues as of late. So,
maybe we should send you over there. How do you think they would react to an orange fabricated American?
I don't know. Big Bird went over there and had a pretty decent time of it.
Yes, and someone who I associate with you did give him one piece of advice. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember.
Take my advice. Don't eat the rice in China. There's a deep.
By the way, this looks like the ooze from Secret of the Ooze is like pulsating beneath the ground.
Yes, it does, and you don't want to speak too negatively about it. Maybe that's what's happened here. By the way, to reference a different ooze movie, the spirit at Epcot has gotten so bad that like a giant city-sized Twinkie, the ooze is bubbling up underneath Epcot.
I hate that planter, by the way. That planter in the middle of the World Celebration.
It's so terrible.
It's terrible. I won't say what it looks like because we're a family show, but 9 out of 10 men can't find Spaceship Earth.
Thank you there, Marvin.
Yeah.
Yes. With that being said, why would
they make that?
I don't think Topanga and Corey are going to kiss in front of the World Celebration Gardens planter the way that they did in front of the Fountain of Nations.
One more thing to close the story off right here. Going back to Blog Mickey's saying that maybe they haven't returned to their full glory. It says right here, when we visited last night, only one of the Spaceship Earth points of light shows was synchronized with the in-ground lighting. The in-ground lighting remained a solid color or white during the majority of the shows, signaling that there's still some programming work to be done to restore the lights to their full former glory. Yes, Topanga, probably not kissing Corey there in front of these, like you saw in front of the Great Fountain of Nations, and now it was all synced up and everything because, well, they're still programming this. So, again, I'm grateful that they are going back and attempting to restore this effect and getting it working, because I think this is a big point of interest for this specific location. Like Marvin said, the planter really isn't doing it for you. There was supposed to be a fountain here at one point, and that got cut. So the fact that they are at least attempting to get this working is great. But a year and it's still not working.
Right. And they pretty much had to do it because when we just reported on this channel not that long ago that they replaced the footage for Soarin' there, and it includes the fully operational World Celebration Garden lights. So they kind of had to do this, even though they weren't functioning at the time that released. There it is, right there. It's not exactly the same effect. By the way, this color scheme right now is going to be the rainbow effect from the 1980s. Here, this lavender shade here that happens to line up with the flag. I think it might be a coincidence that it lines up with that flag. This is really hot with designers right now, and I cannot wait for it to go away. It is just guys, it's already overdone.
It is strange. Let me see if I can pull it actually up, because we're seeing this lavender color scheme right about here. We're seeing this lavender color scheme in so many different places, like Jonas was actually saying. Yes, and I'm not sure what it's all about. But as you can see right now, it's actually associated with very much quality. So I'm sure this will be a trend that'll last.
When Vash gets sarcastic. That's perfect.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.